for your tongue. If you close your teeth, you know thoughts become things. So think on your feet and be on your P's and Q's when you close to me. Perfection ain't a question for me. Victory is destined. Cause it ain't no love in the heart of the city. And it ain't no love in the heart of the town. Get down, get down, get down, get down.
My art is my mental health. I started doing music as a way to express myself and to keep myself from being in a dark place. It is also what I use to keep as something to keep me sober, if I'm gonna be honest. It is what keeps me sober, to be honest with you. When I think about going back to, being an addict and being someone that is not present in their body, I feel like music saves me from that. And music makes me show up for myself. Oh my God, yes. Who hasn't been affected by depression? I mean, I went through a bout with depression not too long ago. I'd say in October, November, I went through a period in time where I just was experiencing really, really high anxiety, panic attacks. Felt like I was constantly on the verge of a panic attack. And it's so funny that you asked that, because every night I would lay in my bed literally with the lights off, and I would literally write songs. And that's kind of like how my album was kind of written. Like, parts of my album was written for me just using the music to soothe and calm myself down and keep me from, going into this panic that I would go into that I had that was like out of my control. And one of the most alarming things about dealing with anxiety and dealing with depression is that you have no control over it. And I'm an Aries. I am all about control. So not being in control was really, really hard for me. And it was almost like devastating to me that I was having these physical sensations and these feelings and these thoughts that I could not control. And I got myself out of that space by journaling and writing down the physical sensations that I would have and pairing it with the thoughts that went with that physical sensation, and kind of like just tearing off the layers, piece by piece, to figure out exactly what is the root of this feeling and why are you feeling this way and when does it happen and what things happen when you feel this feeling. But it was tough. But shout out to my therapist, Catherine, for guiding me through that and holding me accountable, helping me hold myself accountable. So I've definitely dealt with depression, and more than depression, I will say anxiety. But anxiety can lead you to a depressed state, and depression can also make you have anxiety. So it is a vicious cycle. I would say that. The best advice I can give someone who's trying to pull themselves out of a dark place is to talk to someone. And I don't necessarily even mean like a mental health care professional. It's great to talk to someone like that as well, but just talk to anyone that you trust, that will listen to you and not judge you. Just because getting that energy and that bad mojo off of you is helpful. And even if it's your social media that you're talking to, I know people talk about oversharing on social media, but I have a friend who's going through a bout with depression, and she shares every little piece of her journey and her feelings with her social media, her Snapchat. And honestly, I find it helpful, you know? And I feel like it's not only helpful to me. If I'm finding it helpful, there has to be someone else that's saying it that's finding it helpful. So talk about it, you know? It doesn't have to be some dirty secret that you're in a dark place, because holding on to that dirty secret only perpetuates that negative energy, you know? Let it go, release it. And once you release it, you can open yourself up for lighter energy. That's what I feel. Oh, you already know who it is. It's Janet Jackson. If I could put on Janet, I could be in the crappiest mood of the day. But if you put on a Janet, my inner queen just flourishes. She just, I mean, not to mention she makes emotional music, but she also makes very happy music, and she has music that I can listen to and it completely just takes me away. And I'm no longer in the moment feeling sad, mad, whatever. I'm like ready to do choreography. It's all for you if you really want it. It's all for you. Oh my goodness. They do. I mean, if we look at how many amazing, incredible artists have left this earth due to addiction or lack of care when it came to their mental health, you know. Robin Williams, Whitney Houston, Amy Winehouse, you know, the list goes on and on. But I feel like being a creative requires so much bravery, but at the same time, it requires so much awareness of your emotions and your feelings. And that can only be a detriment, or it can be what makes you flourish. And I'm learning now to use it as a tool to make me more powerful, and not as a tool to tear myself down. To speak kindly to myself and to allow myself grace and allow myself to rest and not always push so hard. Yeah, that's really what it is. You know, I would like my music to illustrate something that I feel like a lot of, not a lot, there are a few artists that do this. Frank Ocean is one, K-Tronada is another, that I feel like they are gay Black men, but their music transcends past those categories. Those are incredible artists that a lot of time, everybody knows Frank is gay. You know, that's not a secret. But a lot of people don't know that K-Tronada is queer, you know? A lot of people, it doesn't matter. And you know, I'm not saying that to say that like I want to shrink queerness. I just want to make it so good music, good visuals transcends past sexuality and race, you know? And it happens, you know, look at Little Richard. I don't even know if Little Richard is out the closet. I might have just outed Little Richard. But Little Richard has been around since the 50s. And, you know, Ray Charles probably knew that Little Richard was queer before there was a word for it. But, you know, Little Richard is a legend because his talent transcended his queerness. It didn't make a difference, you know? People didn't care that Little Richard was queer because he was talented beyond belief. that is what I aspire to be. I have a message for everybody out there, anybody out there who may be battling with addiction, who may be battling with body dysmorphia, who may be battling with depression, who may be just not having a good day today. You're gonna get through it. That's the biggest thing. That's the most important thing, is that you're gonna get through it. And I've been through many trials and tribulations, grief, addiction, body image issues, and some of these things that I'm still dealing with to this day. But what I am learning to do is to work towards being happy, and knowing that happiness is not something that's given to you. You have to work for it. And if you want it, you have to face those demons that are in the closet, that are like hiding back there, that you're scared to look at, that you're scared to talk about, that you're scared to conquer. But you have the power to conquer them. There's nothing that you can't handle. I've experienced things that I knew for sure were gonna break me down, and I wasn't gonna get past them. And there were times when I felt like I may not get past it, but I did, and I had the will to fight. And from Mikey, everything to y'all, you got the will to fight too. You're strong. You're way stronger than you think you are. So keep fighting, and you'll rise to the top.